Hey guys, and welcome to episode 5 of Talks with Tumi. So basically, I'm going to be giving you some survival tips for being a sensitive person, basically just surviving life as a sensitive person, because they tend to feel things more intensely and just different than other people do. And just in case you don't know what sensitive people are, or you have no idea what sensitive people are, they tend to respond to stimulus differently. Although we do have environmental changes and everybody feels things differently, but sensitive people tend to respond intensely to maybe change in their job, change of weather. So things like that tend to cause them like stress. They're also highly emotional. They tend to feel things, like I said, they tend to feel things more intensely than other people, and you could actually transfer your energy to them. So if, for example, a sensitive person is in a happy mood and they have someone around them that's just in a dull mood, sad, crying, they tend to pick up that energy, and it's not always fun because sensitive people are very emotional, and they would feel bad for a long period of time. Have you ever watched a sad movie and cried intensely? Like, not all sensitive people do that. I mean, we're all human, so almost everybody has done that. But a sensitive person reacts to bright lights and noise and like violent movies, blood and sad movies, because they tend to feel things more deeply. And a part of the sensitivity is that they're aware of certain emotions that some other people are not aware of. I don't know how to explain that, but I know me. So, and I know a couple of people who are very sensitive, and they tend to feel situations and emotions that other people might not be feeling. Okay, for example, they're more embarrassed than an average person, or more self-critical than a normal person, because they tend to have a complex thought process. They tend to criticize themselves a lot, and it looks like as if they're overthinking. Meanwhile, they just have a complex thought process, a complex way of thinking. I don't know. I wouldn't say they're smarter than normal people. However, they just think differently. They don't handle conflict well. They don't like stress. They don't like conflict. They don't like stress. That's sensitive people. Once that arises, that could mess up their agenda, their plan, their emotions, their chemical balance. All of this is just like a survival advantage, but some people will call it a disadvantage because they see sensitive people as very vulnerable and different from other people. But to a lot of people and to them, it's actually a survival advantage. They tend to think differently than other people and act differently and do things in their own way, not necessarily as other people do things. Sensitive people love art. They have a rich inner thought. They love anything that is like reflective of your emotions and reflective of your feelings. So they tend to like music, culture, art, like museums and stuff. So we're cool like that. Now I'm going to be diving in the tips to survive being sensitive, or if you have someone who's a highly sensitive person, you could actually listen to this tip so you know how they react to stuff and to also navigate your way through their life. The first thing is always recharge and never negotiate your sleep for anything. Your rest time, your sleep time, never negotiate that for anything. You know your limits, so don't overdo it. You can't cope with stress. You can't handle being rushed. Even if, although sometimes sensitive people do work under pressure, but when it's too much, they do break down due to the stress level. So always know your sleep time, always get enough rest, at least 8 hours of sleep. I know for sure that if I get less than 6 hours of sleep, that it doesn't work for me. Like, my whole day is just upside down. Because you have hyper nerves, you need to eat healthy. Because we tend to have more chemical imbalance in our brain, in our body, it's better to eat healthy, eat more fruit, have your tea to cool your body, or have like your electrolytes, like coconut water and stuff. And please stay away from caffeine. Like, say no to the coffee. No to the coffee. Like, coffee could do once in a while, but typically, no. Please don't feel bad for saying no. If you know it's going to disorganize your plans, it's going to stress you, if you know it's not going to work for your situation, be happy. Feel happy to kindly decline their request. Identify what triggers you. Whatever triggers you, if it's bright lights, or loud noises or violent movies, anything that triggers you, or even maybe people being too critical of everything you do, toxic people, identify that. The moment you identify that, that is the first step to survive being sensitive. Number 5, find healthy solutions to your triggers. So because you know what triggers you, you need to find out how to solve that problem. If it's like music, we love music. Sensitive people have a thing for art. So if it's music, if it's drawing, if it's writing, painting, whatever it is, find it. Number 6, it has to do with number 5, yoga. Yoga, 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 yoga. I can't say enough. Just stretch, move your body. That's all. I can't say anything more. Yoga is life. I'm not lying to you. Number 7, plan ahead. Like, journal your plans, journal your agenda, journal what you have to do. A lot of people do have it in their head, but sometimes for us, we do need to journal stuff down, like actually write it down. Number 8, travel. See the world, meet different people, feel different places. It would definitely change your life. Experiences over material things. Date yourself. Like, why not? I'm taking my advice, by the way. Date yourself. Please take yourself out on a date, look nice, wear a nice dress, and practice forgiving yourself. Practice patience, practice loving yourself, because as sensitive people, you're critical. As a sensitive person, you're critical of yourself. You overthink things. So when things don't go well, when you make a mistake, you're overthinking it, you're worried too much. No, relax, calm down, okay? It's not that serious. Practice forgiveness, practice loving yourself, and practice dating yourself. Take out the trash if it stinks. That means remove toxic people from your life. Whatever doesn't serve you, whatever situation isn't right for you, please don't do it. Just leave. And don't feel bad, because as a sensitive person, you will feel bad, you'll feel some type of way, but nah, it's not worth it. Less stress is better. Conflict comes, conflict goes. I know you know that disappointment floats through your head. You're always thinking, oh, why can this happen? Why can that happen? But you can't control what people think about you. You can't control situations in your life. Just let it go. It happens to people that are not sensitive, and unfortunately you're sensitive, so you experience that intensely, much more than a normal person. However, it's life. When the conflict comes, shake it off. Cry, go through that process, but just know that this is going to go. And the conflict, the hostile environment, or the conflict you're going through is not forever. Remember one thing: you are not responsible for the happiness of other people. You're not. I know it feels like as if you should be. You should be responsible for the happiness of other people because you're very vulnerable and emotional. You love people and you expect people to love you the same way. But you're not responsible for how other people feel. If you've tried to console people and they don't feel any better, it's not your job to make them feel good. You do your best and you just leave it as that. The last point I have is be yourself. I know it's very hard to be authentic, especially when you have to explain to people that, sorry, I don't really like bright lights. I don't really like loud noises. They'll look at you like, are you the only one? You're not the only one now. Relax. Calm down. It's okay. Calm down. And I know that's kind of hard to always explain to people. I don't respond well to this situation. I don't like being in this situation. I don't like stress at all. But look at it like everybody doesn't like stress, so calm down. But what you need to know is be yourself. You don't need to explain to people all the time this is who you are. You could always find people who are like you. And if you don't, just be yourself. At the end of the day, it's definitely going to pay off, because later in life, you realize that being yourself is what matters. And that's it for the tips to surviving being sensitive. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you like, you subscribe, and you comment as well. I would see you on my next video.